It's finally time. After all these years, you're going to pay, Vastriel.
It's finally here! The first playable build of Blade of the Archangels is available to members of the Discord. So, naturally, a good question to start this video with is, what is a first playable? Well, usually in game development, there is a set production timeline that most development cycles are going to follow. First, you'll start with a prototype. This is the initial test of the core mechanics. Does it work? Can I make this? What features are core to the project we want to make? This is usually done with a lot of placeholder or dev art assets. This is usually not really done with the final art style because that usually involves commissioning artists, and at this stage you're really too early to want to delve into that stuff because this is where you even decide if the game is worth making. Once you've prototyped out your game and you're pretty solid, you got a good idea, you'll usually move to building a first playable. This is when you start bringing in the visual aspects to the core mechanics. You replace placeholders with the stylized artwork you're going for, but this is still a stage where a lot may and very likely will change. Once you have your first playable and you've got your core prototypes in place and you've got your art style set, you move towards your pre-alpha. So a pre-alpha is a step in which you're going to start really building in your game. A lot of demos are made with the pre-alpha build of a game because this is where a lot of permanent choices about the core elements are made. This is where you're really deciding, can we add more features? Do we really need this feature? Let's rebalance this feature. Pre-alpha is where you start making some of those more permanent decisions. And then after that you have your alpha, which most people know what an alpha is. It's a more permanent build of the game, and then beta, gamma, delta, and this joke is ridiculous. And then usually somewhere in between the first playable and the pre-alpha, you will take the time to make a vertical slice. A vertical slice is a hyper-polished part of the game that you will use for marketing purposes. This is usually used to secure funding, either with like Kickstarter or with a publisher. So, Blade of the Archangels is currently in its first playable stage. It's not feature complete. A lot of the animations are still missing, but the core mechanics are in place and the final art style is in place. The next step for us going forward logically would then be working towards the pre-alpha build and our demo. While we're working towards our pre-alpha, we're also going to be working towards our vertical slice. As a narrative story heavy game with multiple endings, there's a lot of cost to producing the full game. So we'll be working to create our vertical slice to secure funding, be that either with Kickstarter or a publisher. We're still deciding on that at the moment. But it is nice to finally have something playable that we can give to people who have believed in this project, even with it being on hold for over a year. And, we're going to start adding in the voice acting, we're going to start getting those animations done, and really start working towards creating that vertical slice and that full demo. So if you want to get your hands on the first playable and help be a part of our development process as we move towards that pre-alpha, feel free to join the Discord in the link below. And it's completely free. It's open to everyone. And you'll be able to download and play the latest build. We're super excited to be releasing this, and I can't wait to bring you guys the next update that we're going to have. Until then, bye-bye.